Hi people, welcome back to the TradeEscape YouTube channel. So I'm going to be doing weekly breakdowns of trades that I've taken. So over the last week or so, I did quite a few shorts on the Australian Swiss franc. So I'm going to run through that now. This is the 4-hour time frame. So I usually plot the 200 EMA, which is this line here, this blue line at the top, and the 30 EMA, which is obviously a bit tighter to price action, just at a quick glance to see if it's a down or uptrend. But looking at the lower lows and lower highs, you can see it's a downtrend, and just gives quite a good confirmation. A lot of people actually trade the lines, when price action touches these EMA lines, so that's an additional factor to consider. So back at, what date was this? This was around, I think it was the 17th of Feb. Obviously, price has made this kind of down movement here, all the way down to here. It's kind of a pullback. So this is quite a significant support line. It was a significant support line. So you see the bounce off there, you see a bounce in that area, you see it bounce here again, eventually break through. As you know, this should then turn into pretty strong resistance line. So once it's broken that support line, turns into resistance line. So this would be an area to watch. Covered that in a previous video and in the upcoming course, but I'll go into that in big detail later. So after this down move here, you see it starts to form a complex pullback. This could be seen as a pullback, but it's a minor. I like distinctive V shapes or A shapes here for my pullback. So this is a complex one. That's why I've drawn this trend line here as it keeps touching this and using it as support. So it eventually breaks it quite strong at this point here. So this is around the 18th. Now whenever price action breaks a support line, what I want to see is price action come back up to retest the area that it's broken out from, and then I'll wait for a new low. So this pullback is given little mini higher highs and higher lows. So the pullback obviously looks like a bit of a uptrend. So someone may have traded this for buyers, but as it's overall a downtrend, I would look for the next time that price action is going down again. So after this break of this trend line here, I'll wait for it to retest and then make a new low. So just to make that a bit clearer, that's for higher highs. So if I show you lower low version, so this is just a quick recap of my strategy, which I put a link to. I've done a different video on that below. So lower lows on lower highs and lower lows, basically that is what a downtrend is. So you'd see an AB movement, which is the trend movement. You'd see a pullback, which is the BC movement that has to stay within AB, and then for it to be a full trend move, that CD would have to go lower than point B. So obviously B was support at this point, as that's where the pullback started. This is where people are resting, recovering, taking profit, etc. Rest, and then they're ready to go again. They push past this support point, make a new low, pulls back up, and now this line, which was support, has now become a resistance line, and so forth. So that was how a downtrend would continue. So once you see two lower lows, I would say that is, and two lower highs, I would say that is in a currently trending down. So that is what I look for when in this complex pullback situation. So overall it's down, it's making this complex pullback here. I'm just waiting for it to continue the trend. If it does, it makes that breakdown here, makes a pullback here. It could come down to this point here, and form that kind of touch a support line and just continue going up. So then it could reverse and turn into an uptrend. So this is why I always wait for the confirmation to make a new low, which it did here. So let me come down to the 1 hour time frame. So this is where we're looking. This was the break of the complex pullback area. This is the retest, and now at that point it made a new low. So if I just bring this down to here, so this is on the hour time frame. So I would enter. This is where I initially entered. If I show you this line here, so this is the first breakout line. This is where it pulled back up to do the retest, and this where this candle finished here, which is on the hour chart, is where the new low was formed. So that's first. This is the first low. This is the second after this breakout. That would be where I would enter. I would put my stop loss. Stop moving. I put my stop loss up here. So this is around 60 pips if you are trading on the 1 hour time frame. You could be trading on a lower time frame and the pips would be smaller. Obviously you can see, you know, this goes on to make a ridiculous amount of pips after that. But if you're, you know, day trading, so if I come down to the 15-minute chart, come back up. So this is the breakout again. So that was this is the breakout here of the complex pullback. This is the retest move. This is where it broke to make that new low. So if you did want to wait for, you know, a smaller stop loss area, you could wait for this pullback again up to this line, which was previously support. Look for that resistance here. So you see a kind of a little double top there, little M pattern, breaks down again, makes a new low here. So this is the 15-minute chart. Again, this is another opportunity. So once it's broken this area here, this part here could be where your stop loss would be, and this line here is where you could enter again. So that's 38 pips stop loss. Come down a bit. This is a new AB. This is a BC, very shallow. Continue to make, you know, that's 30 pips there. Pulls back a little bit, makes up to 43 pips. Pulls back up to here, makes it 56. Pulls back up to there, and it just keeps going and going. But let's just run through this just so it's clear what the entry points are. So imagine this is the first new AB. So this is AB, BC, CD. Cool. Fall, down, move. That was the first part. This is the second one. This is so AB. That last CD turns into AB. So this is now AB, BC, CD. AB. This is a shallow pullback. BC ends up, I'd say, coming down to here. Just include this as the full CD movement. Again, even if you've missed that, this is if you come to the charts at this point in time. So this is now moved on to 21st of Feb now. So this is another AB movement, a BC movement, and then a CD. So you could enter here with the stop loss above here, where so you've got a resistance line. Potentially bring this down. You've got resistance there, and you've got resistance here, where this support line is, where that rejected from. You always want two lines of support or resistance in between where your stop loss is and where you're entering. So AB, BC, CD. Another one here, AB. This is the BC, and then see over this, I believe was obviously a Friday night. You can see weekend came and then it gapped down all the way down to here. So say you come to Monday morning now, you've seen that, so you can see that as a AB, BC, CD weekend. Cool. So if this is an AB, technically all of that is a mini kind of complex pullback here. again, you could see that. So if you were entering, so that's the BC, and then it doesn't make a new low to complete the CD. So it's all of this is basically pullback. It's kind of in this little value area. So this is why when you don't see a new low, you don't enter. You don't have that confirmation yet. So the trend is not continuing yet. So this continues for a while. So this is 24th. This is still, yeah, all that day it stayed in this area into the next day. Next day, 25th now. At this stage, it breaks that point. Because it was in there a while, in this value area for a while, people are going to be stubborn and not are gonna try and retest. So it's broken it, it's come back up, and then you see it makes a nice triple top here. So it breaks out here, comes back up, rejects, comes back up, rejects, comes back up, rejects. So when it makes that new low here, strong low, nice strong trending candle, no wick at the end, that is my next point of entry right there, with stop loss up here. So I've got this line of resistance in the way. I've got this line of resistance up here where it did the triple top. Put that back. So I enter at this point here. Stop loss up here. That's a nice stop loss of about 22 pips. And then that goes on to make, yeah, quite a lot. That's 50 down there already. So that was the next point you could have got. So let's follow this along now. So this is a new AB here, BC, and then CD moved down to here eventually. So we've got this AB move here, pullback here, which was safe. It was within, it got close to the stop loss, but didn't touch it. And then this makes a whole another trend move down here, big AB move down here, which we should still been collecting from that point. Then, so if we include this as a whole AB movement, this is a BC pullback. Then CD makes a lower point around, say from here, it breaks down around this point. So at that point you can see, cool, that's a breakout. I potentially want to see a retest and then a strong lower low again. So if we entered here, it's not quite clear. So this I wouldn't have been so comfortable with, because it's like it's almost from this own value area around here. So you could have still entered, but I would have been a bit safer and probably put a stop loss up around here, just because of all this congestion here. But still, if you wanted to leave it, wait for it to do all of this retesting. It's kind of formed its own little value area here again. So there's two touches, there and there, there and there. So support line here, resistance line here. Wait for it to break out of this kind of little value area. So here it's forming its own little value area. So it breaks out of that. Whenever it breaks out of a value area, you wait for the retest, comes back up to this box, retest off it quite strongly, wait for it to make a new low, which it does at this candle here, no wick at the end of it. That would be another entry with a stop loss, I'd say up here to be safe. So it's got this line in the way, and it's got that the bottom of this rectangle line in the way, so two resistance line. Enter at this new low point here, stop loss up there. How far does this go after this? And this is coming up to Friday now. Friday just gone, so stop loss up here, 32 pips. This then makes around 70-ish pips along the way. So this is currently where it's at. So now we're on today, Saturday 29th. This move happened all Friday. So yeah, I've been riding this downtrend in and out, collecting profits along the way since mid-Feb. So quite a nice move. Hope that makes sense. If the strategy wasn't too clear, like I said, I'll put a link to that down below. I'm going to be doing these videos weekly now, so I think it makes more sense and easier to learn if you see practical examples of how to apply the strategy. I'm also still working on the course, but I'm going to give some free modules away for early sign up, so I'll put a link down below for that as well. Please like and subscribe, and happy trading.